Hi, hello. Wanted to invite y'all in to listen in on another podcast. I'm going to be doing with Jasmine, so let me join up and get hooked up to her right now, and then you guys can listen in. It's a 30-minute podcast. Jasmine's a Tenex lady. She was at the Tenex ladies event. She owns a photo booth company, which would be great for events when we get to have those again. So let me just tell her I'm on. Hi.
How are you?
Hey, I'm just going to show my live who you are. Hi, Jasmine. Thank you.
Elena.
Thank you for those gorgeous
Everybody.
flowers that you sent. She sent this amazing bouquet of flowers to the house when I told her I would gladly do this podcast. So thank you for that. That was beautiful.
I'm so glad you got them and that they brightened up your weekend.
Oh, they do, man. Flowers are a great gift to give right now. I mean,
Yes.
They really do kind of make the place look beautiful, you know?
Completely agree. And you look beautiful as always.
Oh, thank you.
So I'm not recording just yet. Josh, my husband here, wanted to say hi.
Hey, thanks for the flowers, Josh.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for taking the time. We
Yes,
appreciate
thank you
everything
so much.
You and Grant have done, changed our lives dramatically. It's
I appreciate that acknowledgement. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm going to be tech support for the rest
Yeah,
of the
he's my tech support.
That's always good to have.
Yes, he's my camera guy, Johnny the camera guy.
Everybody needs a Johnny the camera guy.
Definitely. Okay, so we're going to run through and I'm going to hit record. I'll introduce you. We'll run through the questions and then I will wrap up. Hello, everyone. And then I'll end the recording, but if you don't mind just sticking on for like one more minute just to personally thank you and then we can just wrap up.
Oh, awesome. Okay, no problem.
All right, sounds wonderful. Do you have any questions for me?
No, I'm good.
I can't believe that you're taking the time to do this. So thank you so much. Really
Oh, it's good. I needed a little break. I'm writing my men's manual right now, and right when I thought I was gaining some big moves, I deleted a chunk out of the book. So I was like, oh, now my word count went down. So every day I'm like trying to up my word count. It's like my targets, and then I just brought it down by 300 words or something. So
it'll come back to you with extra words. Yeah,
I know. I have a couple more chapters to write anyway on it, so it's gonna be fine. You know, it's cleaning up. It's getting better, tighter, more concise. I know, but you know. Anyway.
Wonderful. I'm sure it's gonna be great. So if you don't mind, I'm gonna go ahead and hit record.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. My name is Park Photo Booth International. I'm so excited to bring on this special guest today. For those who don't know who she is an actress, businesswoman, co-host of the Genie show, creator of Tenex Ladies Conference. She's an empire builder. And not only that, she, along with her husband, Grant Cardone, have built up a real estate portfolio of over $1.5 billion. I am so excited to welcome today the empire builder queen herself, Elena Cardone. Thank you, Elena.
Thanks, Jasmine. What a great intro. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming on. And to everyone else, welcome to the Photo Booth International podcast. First off, I just want to say, Josh and I have gone through last programs that you guys have hosted. And so we've seen it kind of change and evolve over the years. And I have to tell you, this last Growthcon was absolutely our most favorite. First of all, you killed that fire dance. that what a grand entrance to the show. It was just amazing. And to hear you say, I think you mentioned in one of your networking calls that you put your boxing on hold to practice the moves for that. I mean, I think that was just so impressive. And it was just an awesome, beautiful touch to start everything. And not only that, but the way that you and Grant did the conference this year, more interview style, and the round platform stage, it was just awesome the way it rotated. So we've told everyone, like all of our customers, we tell them all the time, you guys need to go to Tenex Growthcon. So I just wanted to commend you guys on that and just say that we really appreciate the value that you guys bring. And not only that, to those who don't know, Elena hosted her very first Tenex Ladies Conference. And I was lucky enough to be able to stay for that. And I have to tell you, she over-delivered. I had no idea what to expect, but I can tell you my mind was blown. I came back on fire. I came back and my team and even my husband, Josh, was like, what got into you? You are on fire. And it was just the speakers and everything that they had to share, along with, just getting to be around like-minded women, just really lit that fire and just really ignited that passion that was always there. But maybe I had been too scared to show it. So thank you so much for that. And that was definitely the highlight of the year before it's happened. So I'm excited for what's to come with that, because you blew my mind, I have to tell you.
Thank you. It was the very first one we did, and it was really successful. I was very happy with the outcome. So thanks for being a part of that, and thanks for being an Elite Empire member. You're going to be joining me on my mastermind June 6th and June 7th. We start our 5-week coaching session on the following Monday, but this Wednesday we're going to have our introductory call so we can all meet each other and get introduced to what we're going to take up during the 5-week coaching. So I'm excited you're a part of that with me. Thank you.
Of course, I'm excited that you have so many things to offer. Funny story I have to share with you. The very first day of Growthcon, we were looking through the app and we saw that you had hello, and we saw that you had Mind coming up, and the value was there. I bought it the first day of Growthcon at the price that you had listed there.
Wow,
because I was
awesome.
Like, wow, like I can't believe she's doing a mastermind. This is amazing. I have to do this. And while there was a speaker, I don't even know who the speaker was. I'm there with my credit card. I was like, I have to take advantage of this.
Dude, I love you.
I love you. Thank you again. But that just goes to show how you make all of us feel like we really get to know you. You're very vulnerable with, your social media following, everyone that came to the event, the way you spoke to us. It just makes us feel like we're just really part of a big Tenex family. So thank you for that.
Wow. And I appreciate that. That support and hearing that feedback really goes a lot further than you probably realize. So thank you for that acknowledgement.
No problem. So we're going to jump into some questions here. So everyone knows that you and Grant are just a power couple together. So one of my questions here is, what makes you want to share that knowledge that you guys have learned through your own mistakes to help other people? There's people out there that they gain all of this knowledge, but they don't care to share with their followers. And you and Grant are always so giving. So what makes you want to give so much?
Well, I think Grant and I have as our mission that we want to help people, and we've gotten to a certain point in our lives where now the things that satisfied us before don't now. We both come from Louisiana, from pretty moderate upbringings, and now that we've kind of figured it out for ourselves, I mean, certainly we're not perfect, we're still figuring it out, but I think we both feel a sense of responsibility to help other people that may be in the same shoes that we were in. And if we can be open and transparent and help somebody else fast track their way to success, then it's like, as Grant says, then success is our responsibility, our obligation, and our duty. So, and so that's why, we do what why we do what we do, is to fast track other people's success.
Oh, I love that. You've definitely helped us, and I thank you for sharing that and not being, you're not scared to be vulnerable, and I think that's what everyone loves about you guys. Now, you and Grant spent so much time together. You're together a lot of the time. How do you make sure that your relationship is while running the business, managing your family, managing the employees?
We have our purpose so in place and our mission so aligned that it helps us to be able to help each other by hitting the targets that we've set for ourselves. And when we hit the targets that we set for ourselves, that's when we really win and create the love in the relationship. So, and then we've built up a team. Grant's built up a team. He's worked really hard to be where he's at in his life right now, and the team helps us and alleviates a lot of the stress, because we have other people doing things so that we can focus on the things that we are good at and need to focus on. So that's how we make it all work. We depend on other people.
Mm-hmm. I love that. That reminds me, at Tenex, her name, but I think it's Dana Garcia.
Danny Garcia, who...
Danny Garcia.
Yeah.
She is The Rock's manager, and she mentioned how The Rock just makes it look so easy and effortless, but there's a whole team behind him. And so I can relate, that to what you just said. So it's nice to know that you have that strong team and foundation to support you guys, because you guys are running an empire, and you need all the support that you can so that you can achieve your mission. Now, speaking about your team, how do you vet the people that are within your inner circle?
I look at their actions. I look at who they are, what they stand for, what they're okay with, what they're not okay with, what their ethics and morals are, how they treat the people in their lives, what they watch on social media or what they post. And are they courageous? Do they have courage to not hear ill will of you? Do they talk rumors, gossip? I just look at all the red flags that everyone should be looking at when they vet a person. Do they excessively drink alcohol, at every work function? Do they, I look at that. Those are tells. They tell me something. Those are reads. And certainly eventually I'll make a decision based on that, because I hold myself up to an ethical standard. There's certain things that I represent and I stand for, and I can't just make allowances for it because I like somebody, I have to keep that really strictly guarded and protected, because the foundation of this empire is built on ethics. Certainly we have a lot of fun. We look like we're having a lot of fun a lot of the time, and that is true. That's not like a lie, but there's also behind that is a very serious mission that we're on, and it requires a lot of work and a lot of discipline and a lot of trustworthiness in the people within the organization to do their job and to operate at optimum levels that are required to be where we're at right now.
Mm-hmm. I love that. And to piggyback on that, what you just talked about, following your intuition and looking for the clues or the red flags that, can cause you to kind of suspect that someone's not supposed to be in your inner circle. How do you balance the relationships, the great relationships that you have with those people that are vital within your school, you know, on a daily basis. How do you balance, you know, because it seems like there's a friendship there, but there's also a business relationship. So how do you balance those two without getting too friendly and then without being so strict and bossy all the time?
Right. It is difficult, and I have certainly made that mistake. I think I can speak for Grant as well on this, where maybe he's also made that mistake where sometimes, you know, we do become friends with the people in our inner circle because those are our friends. Like, we don't just have friends sometimes that we have no business relationship with, or we are not partners with, or that are investors, or that are employees. I mean, we just don't hang out with people who don't intermix with us like that. I don't think that's intentional. It's just, we just don't. I'm not around those people. Probably wouldn't relate much to them anyway. But so we have both made that mistake. However, the people that are our innermost circle and happen to also be employees or staff are extremely professional, and they hold themselves at a high accountability level, and they understand when we're on a trip where we might be playing football on a beach that we're friends, but in the next moment you might be having to fuel the plane up, or you know, like Ryan Secco, for instance. You know, at one point he was our captain, and then, you know, he was also running the Cardone Capital kind of division, or president of that division. So, you know, they're just able to switch, and they are very professional, and they understand when to wear what hat. And so that's helpful when the people around you are able to make the differentiation.
Yeah, I love that, because that's one of the things that I think as a boss we struggle with. Especially when you're such a giving person, it's easy to.
Well, yeah, I know it's uncomfortable, because sometimes then if you're friends, they feel like they can come to you with a personal situation or this or that, and sometimes you don't want to know that stuff. You want there to be that sort of professional barrier, but you know, we all have the capacity to confront what's in front of us and be able to have open communications and, you know, say what we feel. So, and to where it can be a better working environment for all of us. But I do know what you're saying as someone in your position, and I know Grant probably experiences it more than me, but.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you for sharing that. Now I have to ask you, as the queen of empire, what way do you protect your empire, right? We talked about the red flags that sometimes come up. What steps do you take to address those red flags when you see them?
Well, there's different. I mean, I'm like thinking of a barrage of circumstances right now. Certain red flags need to be brought to Grant's attention. Some red flags need to be brought to Sherry, the COO of the company's attention, or Jared's attention, or it depends who's running what division. You know, not everyone needs to know about everything. Sometimes it's like, hey, I'm thinking this. It felt like this was a little odd, like with Sherry. You know, I might have a conversation with Sherry. This seems a little odd. What do you think about this? And maybe she starts just paying an extra eye. And, you know, sometimes maybe a situation gets handled without even Grant needing to know, because that's not what he does or runs. And then sometimes if he is directly involved in it, then he absolutely needs to know. So what do I do with red flags to protect? They either get handled or they have to go. And that's it. That's the only two ways about it. They don't just get they're just not allowed to stay there, because I know from my past experiences that red flags, enough of them accumulated, turns into a colossal problem. And the biggest problems with empires are destroyed from within, not from the outside or the enemies. As to what might be the opposite of what most people think. So they have to be handled or eliminated, or they do serve to pose the biggest threat to the empire.
Mm-hmm. And part of being the empire, having intuition and then calling those difficult shots whenever you have to protect your empire. So I admire that very much about you and how you handle those situations.
Thank you. It is difficult, especially when a decision has to be made when you really like the person. But it's not good for the good of all or whatever. But the tough decisions have to be made in order to look out for the most good that's going to impact the most people. So sometimes it requires that you have to be a little more willing to make a difficult decision. And I love that Grant is able to do that. And I admire him for that, because a lot of people want to be a boss. They claim that they're the boss, but very few people are doing what he is doing on a daily basis, putting himself out there, making everything he does transparent at the risk of his words getting twisted, making the hard calls, writing the checks, making the tough decisions, facing the backlash of that. But in the end, there can only really be one king of a real empire. So I'm glad he's running that Cardone empire, and whether he's perfect or not, I admire his confidence in himself and the business decisions that he's made over the last several years that I've been with him, 16 years. He has never made a mistake. He's always over-delivered and produced in abundance, and I have zero doubt that we are going to come out on the other side of this, even if we've momentarily had to shrink or appears to retreated. I know that when we come out of this in a couple of years, we're going to be bigger, badder, stronger, more unstoppable for it. And we'll probably make a lot of enemies really miserable, because enemies don't like flourishing and seeing flourishing and prospering.
But I love the way you have his back and he has your back. There's never been a moment where, you're going to catch either one of you speaking, negatively of the other person, because you know that you each have your roles, that you each have your strengths, and together as a team, you're able to propel forward. And you've talked about this in your awesome book, Build an Empire book. I love this book. I have a special copy, which is a signed copy from the Tenex ladies event. So this is my pretty copy. I have another copy, my original copy, and it's all bent and marked on and things like that. But the supporter is admirable. So thank you so much for sharing that. I have to ask you one more question here. So you do so many interviews, especially as of late. You've been on almost everywhere I look. It's Elena Cardone, and I love it. You're working on yourself, making sure that you're creating a stronger brand for yourself. So you've been asked so many questions, but what is one question that no one ever asks that you feel someone should ask?
That's a challenging question. Probably they should ask, what's the one thing you could change if you could change something today?
Do you mind answering that question?
I would change the invalidation and the nullification that women receive in society. And it's not just from men. I also hear women invalidating and nullifying themselves. I hear it most often when a woman says, "Oh, I'm just a mother." Like if asked, "Well, what do you do?" or "What is your position?" and a woman says, "I'm just a mother," it makes me sad inside, because I feel like they're saying it with some sort of an apology, or like it's nothing. And to me, I think that's the greatest role there is on the planet, is to be a good mother and to be honored and respected for that role, to rear happy, confident, producing members into society is like, should never be downgraded. And I wish that more women would recognize that. And no matter if they're working or doing other things, that is the most important role in society.
Wow, thank you for being so vulnerable. This is why I love you so much, because you're not afraid to come on camera and show real raw emotion and, you know, shed tears and share how you're feeling truly in that moment. And I feel it right here in my heart. I'm not a mom yet, and that, you know, one day hopefully that will happen. And I honestly admire the way that you treat your daughters, the way that you have a relationship with them, the way you show up for them. And I aspire to be that type of mother, while, you know, having that strong business side, but also being a strong and loving and tender mom and share whenever they're off into the real world on their own. And I think that you guys are doing a fantastic job raising them, just, you know, from what I can see. And thank you again for being so vulnerable.
Oh, I'm sorry. I know. Thank you. I don't know. That just really got me. I don't know why.
Well, because
yeah.
like you said, I do this all the time too. It's something I struggle with. It's easy to just be like, oh, you downplay your successes, and it takes some time to break out of that habit. But honestly, by being a part of, you know, your Tenex networking calls every Wednesday, and just being able to see all of the other interviews that you're doing, it inspires me to not downplay my successes. And you're a great role model. You showed what it is to be successful and own it. You are that side to you that shows you don't have it all together sometimes, and that's okay.
Clearly.
And you're always working on just bettering yourself. So I just love that about you.
Thank you.
So the last question I have for you is, what does 10x mean to you?
10x is a multiplier. It's about taking 10 times the actions of what you thought it would take to get you where you want to be. So 10x to me is about always going after your targets and your potential, and never resting on your laurels, and always fighting to be better, to make a difference, to be dependable for others, to be a role model, not only to yourself, but for your family, your community, for the world, and never giving up on yourself, and pushing yourself to see how far you can go.
I love that. So I did want to just talk about, again, for any people watching who have not, you know, discovered Elena for some reason, her book is amazing. She talks about how to build an empire, how to protect your empire, just, you know, how to vet those people within your inner circle. It is just gold. And so I highly recommend that you check this book out. She has it available on audio as well as hard copy. And then you also have it available as an ebook, right?
I do. I have it as an ebook, and I also have it in Spanish.
Oh, perfect.
So if you go to elenacardone.com/empire, the book is free. You just pay for the shipping, of course. I mean, you pay for your own shipping, but the book is free. I've already written that and covered that expense. You cover the shipping, and it's yours.
Well, on behalf of Spanish-speaking ladies, I'm Mexican-American, so muchas gracias.
De nada.
por tu libro en español. Thank you so much for translating your book in Spanish, because I know you do have a lot of Latin followers, and so you're able to reach more people that way. Now, I also want to let everyone know that you have a Build an Empire University, and they can find that at elenacardone.com/university. Is that correct?
elenacardone.com/university. I have the 75 segments on how to build an empire, protect an empire. I go over in depth what to look for, red flags, knowing your strengths and weaknesses, how to divide and conquer, how to get on the same page, how to work as a team toward heightened success. So there's 75 segments there, with a test out at pretty much at each of every segment. And that's at elenacardone.com/university if you're interested in spending some time and energy during this quarantine time to build an empire.
There you have it. Now, I know that you're working on a book. Can you tell us a little bit about that book and when we can expect for it to come out?
Well, I'm working on a men's manual because I really do love and appreciate all the Tenex men out there that I've met that come to me with all the questions that they have. How do I find a woman? How do I get a Tenex lady? How do I keep her? How do I get her on the same page? So I really wrote this book for Tenex men out there who are really interested in a Tenex woman and being in a Tenex relationship and figuring out how to help each other in the relationship reach heightened success together and really fast track each other's way to success. So I will be done with the book soon. I'm hoping to have it on audio in maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I'm going to start pre-selling the book soon, but I'm going to release it as an audio or as the PDF or whatever the online way is. Rather than if I make it into a book, it'll just take a lot longer, especially with the quarantine. It could take several months, and I just want to get it out there. I want to help all these men that are interested in Tenex relationships.
I love that. I can't wait to share that with all the men in my life. Give them a little bit of insight as to how they can manage a Tenex relationship. Now, we mentioned you're a man this summer, so hopefully that can still happen. If not, I'm sure you'll just push it back a few months. But also, is there going to be a Tenex Ladies 2021 that people can look out for?
I am planning that. I don't know the exact date or location, but I'm aiming toward the end of the year. That's when I've kind of heard that we could meet in groups again. So maybe October, November-ish of 2021. But certainly, if not in 2021, then it would be really soon after that in, 2022. Did I say it right? Yeah. So I want to make that thing into a really big Women's International Congress and really open it up to all the powerful women around the world to have a forum and a place to meet to really figuring out what their responsibility is and how they can go back and really make a difference in their communities and own who they really are and the power that they possess and how they can really help their families and their communities when they go back home.
I love that, and I cannot wait. And I'm sure there's not going to be 500 attendees. I feel like you're going to 10x that, and it's going to be just a whole stadium full of women ready to hear from you and your amazing speakers.
That's my vision. That's my vision.
So thank you, Elena, so much for coming on and spending time with us here today. I hope that, some of you listening, if you've never heard of Elena, now she's on your radar. Check out the links that we're going to post below so that you can learn more about her amazing programs, as well as her husband, Grant Cardone's programs. We hope that this was informational, that you enjoyed this podcast. Thank you, Elena, again so much for being a part of this. We really appreciate you taking the time, and I'll see you hopefully at the end of this year, Mastermind.
For sure. Thank you so much. And I'll talk to you Wednesday night at our Tenex networking and then our introductory call afterwards.
Definitely. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're so welcome. And
I was shaking.
You were shaking. Oh, and my live, all my people stayed on. They listened to you. Sometimes it was hard, it's so difficult with this internet. It like clicks out sometimes. I can only hear every other word. So apologize about that on my Instagram live side. But I could kind of piece together what you were saying.
Okay, good. Okay, you had a pretty good flow there, so I'm glad that worked out.
Yeah.
Just know that if you and Grant ever need anything in Texas, we're here. Josh and I are here. We live 30 minutes out of Dallas, downtown Dallas. So if ever you guys need anything, we're your Texas family here.
Oh, I really appreciate that.
I want to say something. I know I may not get this chance again, so I want to tell you that before you started coming to the front and getting on stage and writing a book and all that stuff, I my whole life I always pushed hard, and I pushed too hard. And so when me and Jasmine first got together, I'm always pushing and pushing and pushing, and she was like, "You're so crazy, you push too much," And now, thankfully, that you revealed all the hidden secrets of building an empire, we can always default to what would Grant gonna do now. And so a blue to follow, instead of she just thinking I'm crazy and I'm the only one on earth that's like that. Because I really resonated with when you shared at Growthcon about Grant called you a coward for not finishing your book.
Yep.
And so I know it sucks, and I've done that to Jasmine because she's in the middle of writing a book now that could help a lot of people, and it's been sitting on the computer unedited, waiting to get published, and I'm like, oh, just get it done. So just always know anytime we share stuff, you're really helping us and creating the blueprint and being that beacon for us to hey, what would they do? And so I appreciate that a lot.
I feel your pain when you talk about, some of the challenges of dealing with someone with a personality such as Grant, powerful, a beast, it's hard to contain a beast. And we're opposite. So everything that you share honestly helped me so important to help me understand that I'm not alone, because I can't have these conversations with my friends because they're not in the same situation.
That's right.
So that's why we really appreciate everything that you share.
Thank you.
I I love that. I really appreciate that acknowledgement. It like I told you in the beginning of the call, it goes so much further than really just it really helps. It really helps. I know somebody shouldn't need validation or praise, and confidence is being able to be strong enough with your own self that you don't need somebody's outside opinion to influence you. However, with that being said, an acknowledgement is also a very nice thing to receive. It's a nice exchange. It's a nice validation, and it does go far for me, and I appreciate it very much. So thank you so much, and thank you for being successful as a couple, and another group that we can look to say, oh wow, they're doing it, we can do it, we can all be better. So thank you for being more like-minded people that we can have around us to make this world feel a little bit saner for people like us.
Awesome. And we're invested in Cardone Capital, and we got Cardone University, and we got almost every program that you guys buy. Anything you guys put out, we always support.
Yeah, very supportive.
Awesome. Thank you.
And we want to take you guys out for dinner, and we're going to pay. I always remember Grant opening up, his opening speech the first time in Vegas. He's like, wow, I was going to pay all the damn time. So tell them, when you guys come to Dallas, we want to take you out. We want to pay.
Deal. Okay. Thank you.
Cool. Well, thank you so
We
much.
won't
for your
take any
time.
more of your time. Thank you so much.
Awesome, you guys. Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay.
Have a great rest of your
Okay.
day.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 So now I'm still on with my live. I got Sabrina in the house. What's going on, chick?
I just got off of school, so naturally my tone levels have gone down.
Oh dear. Okay, the biggest question is Sabrina's sweatshirt
Is it blue
or
gray?
is it gray? Well, come stand in the light because now they have to look into the light. See my light that I have that I put on me for the
Beauty.
things for beauty.
Look. Maybe it's gray, but it definitely
But
has some blue.
no, it definitely looks blue here. What do y'all say? Blue or gray? Type it in the comments. Bobby's here. Crowns for Queens.
Bobby, I can't believe you left us.
Yeah, I
They
know.
all think it's gray, but it's not gray. It's blue.
I said gray too, but I'm going with Sabrina. I think it has a hint of blue as well. You want to take should we ask somebody if they want to chime in and say hello?
A lot of people have said hello.
No. I mean, you take a request and see if anybody has
Let's see. Is anybody good enough for me?
I love it, Sabrina. They're saying it's gray.
No, it's not.
If anyone has a question or anything, thanks for watching my podcast. I know I can't really read your comments when that happens.
She's right. She agrees with me.
She does? Who
She
was
doesn't.
it?
I'm not sure.
But
See.
grayish blue. You see, yeah, that person can see it. Can you see if this person wants to come in
Would you
now?
like to come in, ma'am?
Oh, you invited that person. Why didn't you invite the person that sent the request?
Because she said it's blaze crew.
Okay, so this person's your friend because you agreed
Oh my
with her that
God!
it's blue.
Oh my God, I can't believe I'm live with you right now. This is so crazy to me. This is so crazy.
Oh, I love it. Well, she loves you because
Oh my-
you're the first person that's like, yeah, it's blue.
Yeah.
Okay, I can't see it straight up, but it could definitely be, a grayish blue. There's all kinds of shades of every color,
Yeah.
Yeah. Where are you right now?
I'm in Los Angeles.
Oh, how is it over there?
It's a beautiful day. I stay in a lot because I'm working on building my own empire as well. And I love you. I think you are so awesome. And I first discovered you when you did the interview with Brian Rose. And then I
Which
got
one,
really
the first one or the second one? The one recently or the one a long time ago?
the first one where you were first talking about your book.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. And then and then I totally got turned on to you, and then I discovered Grant, and I signed up for
Wait, let's just pause. Just pause 1 second.
Okay.
She discovered me first and then Grant. We can't.
I
let
totally
that one
discovered
slide.
you first.
Thank you. Okay.
I
continue.
totally discovered you first. 100%. I think you're so awesome. I was so inspired by you. I think you're such a strong woman, and I think you're such a queen. And I was really inspired for my own relationship and where I was going and all of that. But I kind of quickly discovered that I'm gonna have to build this one more on my own. But that's okay. Things work out. Everything will be fine. Yeah. So I signed up with the mentor program with GCU, and I watch his lives just about every morning at 9 o'clock because I'm on the West Coast. But I just think you're so awesome.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh man,
This
I
is so
appreciate
cool
that.
for
Thank
me.
you so much.
Yeah. No,
Well-
seriously, keep it up. You are such a positive asset to the world. I mean, you and Grant.
Just leave it there. That was good
The
enough.
whole package. But I think you're so awesome, and I'm so inspired by you, and I hope I get to meet you one day in person, and I'm just over here working all the time and trying to build my own empire. Yeah. And I make clothes. I consider myself a fashion artist. And I used to sell in person as in like a pop-up kind of style, but because of everything that got totally shut down, so now I'm rebuilding totally from the start, like from scratch online. But it's okay. You know, I think that there's a lot of opportunities to be had, and I'm healthy. I got my dad, my dogs, you know, I'm going to be fine. We're all going to be fine.
For
you know?
sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Make sure if you want to be a part of my Tenex ladies call, which is every Wednesday. That's a free Zoom I do every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So it'd be 3 o'clock for you. But I go on. Are you?
Yeah.
Are you on?
Okay, so I'm not on the call, but I would like to join the call. And I actually heard about it, but I couldn't find how to connect with it.
Okay, so let me see if I can put it in the comment. Raquel can probably put it in too, or Bobby. But it's tenexladies.com/network. And so every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I go on a Zoom call, and it's for my 10X ladies, and then we have a forum where it's just us, and we can navigate these uncharted territories together.
I would love it.
I
totally love it. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much for accepting the request. You rock, and Sabrina loves you.
Oh my God. I love all of you guys back. I'm so grateful for all of you guys. Seriously, all of the information that you guys have put out there and how you guys are really putting it out there, making it so much more accessible to people in this time is such a blessing. It is so amazing. And I'm so grateful for it because there's so many people out there who are not doing it, and we need it, you know, like for all the people who really want to, you know, get ahead, you know, like we need the resources, and you guys are just so awesome. And I tell people about you guys all the time, and I tell people how amazing you are and how much like how much I think highly of you. I tell people all the time, and then I tell them about your husband too.
That's okay. As long as I made it in there, I'm happy. Thank you.
No, totally.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
100%. You're definitely a role model for other women.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yes.
Well, you guys, I'm going to go back to mom life for a little bit here. So thanks for joining on my podcast today. Thanks for participating in my live, even though I didn't get to kind of interact with you as much while we did the podcast. I appreciate for all that you are, and for staying on, and for always being supportive. Appreciate you. Say goodbye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.